What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Smartphone World. Well, the BlackBerry 10 was introduced to us today, and I am going to bring you a full rundown of the specifications, and I'm going to tell you all about the new OS that BlackBerry is running. Now, let me start off by saying that I went into this skeptical is such a bad word. I went in as a pessimist. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I was ready to just start ripping it apart right now and saying on how horrible it is. Well, I will tell you that the body and everything like that, the way it looks, I'll be nice and I'll say it's simplistic. It kind of reminds me of, well, from pictures it doesn't really look like it, but during the announcement and during the event, it really looked like, the black one looked like an iPhone. It really did, from the side and everything like that. It has that brick look to it that the iPhone 4S has. 4, even. But that's not what we're here to discuss. What we're here to discuss is that I was shocked and amazed at the operating system and how it actually works and what they showed us today. It was pretty crazy. Well, the first thing I want to tell you is at the beginning of the event, they had to, for a good 15 minutes, thank the entire world and everybody that was involved and the fans and customers. They thanked everybody. Trust me, they didn't miss anybody. They got them all. Okay, so what they were really bragging about was their new keyboard, the way that you can use this whole entire phone with just your thumb. It was kind of like the iPhone 5 announcement with that part, but I'll tell you right now, BlackBerry, if people actually go out and try this phone, they're not even going to want to use an iPhone anymore. Because not only do we have Android out there that is so much better than an iPhone or the Apple OS, iOS, only because of the personalization and what you can do. It's an it's open source. I mean, anybody can build for it and make for it and change things. It is just great, all the options you have for Android. Well, guess what? You have those same options now with BlackBerry. It's all open. It's terrific in that sense. Okay, just bear with me while I read some of my notes to make sure I do this all in order. First off, RIM is no longer RIM. They are dropping Research in Motion. Research in Motion is dead. Now they're officially known as BlackBerry. I mean, well, that makes sense. BlackBerry was always BB as their stock and stuff like that, so might as well. When they first announced the phone, the two new phones rose from the stage. It was kind of dumb, but you know, this is BlackBerry's first real phone that is like a smartphone, you know what I mean? So they actually played it up a little. Let me tell you about the specifications of the new BlackBerry. They're calling it the Z10. They introduced the Q10, I'll tell you about that in a second, but first about the Z10. First of all, it is 9mm thick. They were bragging on how thin it is. That is just normal size now for a smartphone. It only has a 4.2 inch display. Fine, it's a smaller display. It's bigger than an iPhone 5, but it's still small. In my book, that's still small, I'm sorry. It weighs 135 grams. It's a little heavy, but then again, it's a BlackBerry. The pixels now, 355 ppi. The display looked pretty good. It really did. I like the way it looks. I like the way they do things. I mean, the way they did it now, their display just definitely came a long way. It's 1280 by 768, so it's not real 1080 HD like all the new smartphones that are coming out. So BlackBerry, I don't know, in a few months you better come out with like an upgraded model that has true HD or something, or maybe a larger display, 4.5 inch at least. Well, it has a micro SD slot that supports up to 32 gigs of memory. It has 16 gigs of internal memory, 2 gigs of RAM. It has an 8 megapixel back camera, and the front facing camera is at 2 megapixels. So, I mean, let me just tell you a little bit something about the picture taking. Now, on a lot of computers, a lot of smartphones, taking pictures is all about what you can do. Does it have panoramic? Does it have that sphere where you could take a picture of the entire room and link it all together as one giant shot and be able to, turn the camera all around? Well, the camera on the new BlackBerry 10 is pretty crazy, guys. I love Android cameras and how much they can do with their SLR type shots and, take pictures during video and stuff like that. Not even going to talk to them about that. They don't have SLR on this. They have this other thing called time shift, where it takes a few seconds of video and you can actually just put your thumb on the screen and shift to see what time of that you want to capture. Where was the best part of the smile? It was so cool. You actually have to try this out yourself to see. I think it's better than SLR because SLR can actually miss in between shots a little bit. There's a little bit of motion that you miss, and this is no motion missed. You can actually capture those shots from like that video and really narrow in. You can photo edit right in your phone, and it was cool because like they had the picture there and all the editing was down at the bottom, and you can pick which edit you want to use and then just put your finger on it, pull it up and down, and it changes in front of you, and you can see like the before and after. Which one do you like better? It was so much easier. They definitely stepped up their game with this operating system, and you'll see when I tell you all about this. Now, let's talk about not even making video, because you know what, making video and taking pictures is just normal on all smartphones. If your smartphone can't do that now, it's a waste of people's time. So this is, now let's say you have a bunch of pictures and some video clips on there that you like, and you're like, oh, you know what, I could link all these together, put some music behind it, put an intro, an ending, and I'll just do it all on my computer at home. You could do it all from the BlackBerry 10 now. He did it right on the stage with some pictures, and it was amazing. It was like a montage. It was crazy. There was video in there, pictures, music going on. There was an intro, an ending, credits, a title. You could put animation. It was really crazy. I seriously could not believe it. They definitely stepped up. Congratulations, BlackBerry, for doing that. And you know what? That's not even the tip of the iceberg for what I witnessed at this announcement. Alright, let me talk a little bit more about it. Alright, I told you about the specifications, but not everything. There are a few things that I don't like. Number one, it has a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core processor, but it is 2 gigs of RAM. So, you shouldn't see any problem with speed or transferring from application to application. I'll tell you all about that. The front-facing camera, it takes 720p. The rear takes 1080, both at 30 frames per second. I would expect that the front-facing camera would be HD capable, maybe have a wide-angle lens. Didn't hear anything about that. And the one big kicker, it has an 1800 mAh battery. Now, I don't know how well that will work with what is going on in this operating system. Now, this better be a crazy 1.5 gigahertz dual-core processor. Haven't found out what it was yet, but I will, and I'll let you know. Okay, now, your apps never close. They're always live and running. I can understand exiting a game or something like that, but I'm talking like social apps, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and all that. It's always live and running. You have news feeds, weather. It's always live. And just with your thumb, he was able to just push from the side and see what other apps that were there and just switch to it. There was no need to go to a home button, right? But that wasn't even the coolest thing. It's called BlackBerry Hub. Now, I'm always getting Facebook status updates from people, messages, emails, tweets, I get so much, it's insane. And I'm actually thinking about going and getting a BlackBerry 10 just because of this one feature, the BlackBerry Hub. Everything gets listed in order, in time, you know, your tweets, Facebook, everything that you have to answer in real time. And you don't even have to go into those individual apps to answer them. You touch the Facebook app, the Facebook message in your BlackBerry Hub, and you can reply to it right from there, from the hub. The Twitter application looked insane, just like LinkedIn, Facebook, all of your social media applications that I saw them using, it looked almost like a computer. It didn't look like an application. And this is the things that I wanted to see coming from Android, and we are starting to see, you know, it looking more like computer platform than application and mobile platform, but BlackBerry is definitely going for full computer platform on their BlackBerry 10. That's what I was looking at, guys. It looked pretty crazy. Yeah, the application tiles, they are pretty squared off and sharp, and they don't look too terrific, but you know what? You can personalize the heck out of your phone with BlackBerry and change everything up. I'm telling you guys, it is something to go check out. Now, let me just talk about their keyboard. This was pretty crazy, guys. He started typing in a different language, and word suggestion changed to that language. He didn't have to change anything. And then he went from French to German, and it didn't have to change anything, didn't have to go into any type of settings. That was pretty cool, right? There's word suggestion as you're typing right over certain letters, and if that's the word you want, you can just touch it and throw it up. Don't even have to type the word. You just touch it and throw it up. Touch it, throw it up. Guys, it was pretty sick. I couldn't believe how intuitive it was. Oh, and going back to the hub, when he was going from application, it was milliseconds. There was no pause, no lag, no delay, no nothing in any of that. So that was pretty impressive. Okay, let me just tell you something. He was writing on the keyboard, and the sentence was, there was no spaces, there was some errors, and he did a simple swipe, and it spaced it out, put punctuation, removed the errors. It was pretty crazy. I could not believe how intuitive it was. It was just, everything is swipe. Everything is swipe. Just swipe up, swipe side, swipe the other side, swipe down, swipe diagonally. It was just all about swiping. Once you learn which way to swipe, that phone is going to be psychotically fast. It is seriously, if people start, going out and testing this on their own, BlackBerry has to go put out testing stands so people can test it and check it out themselves, because people are going to start switching, especially if BlackBerry starts introducing like a 5-inch display BlackBerry 11 or something, BlackBerry 12, whatever. As soon as BlackBerry starts upping their game with their display and their outside design, it's going to be a new ball game in the smartphone world. Apple's going to get crushed. Android and BlackBerry are going to lead the way. Windows will be a forgotten word. Okay, now, BlackBerry Balance, they call it. Really quick, it's just switching from a personal profile to your business profile for work. What profile you want at work. And he was using both of them at the same time, switching back and forth. It was effortless. It was effortless, guys. The way everything is integrated in that phone is pretty insane. Now, all I want to know is, how long will it take before that thing crashes, if it will crash? If it doesn't, then that is definitely a smartphone to check out. Now, BlackBerry Messenger. I know we all forgot about BlackBerry Messenger. It sounds like something old school phones would do. But you know what? Their new BlackBerry Messenger is pretty crazy. I know I'm like sounding like a broken record talking about this smartphone, but it is pretty insane. You can be in the middle of, I'm going to call BlackBerry texting. You be in the middle of your text, send a text, the other person's on BlackBerry Messenger, you want a video chat right in your text, you just hit the top right corner and boom, you're instantly video chatting. Well, you're calling him, and if he answers or she answers or whatever, you're video chatting. And then when your video chat is done, it gets logged in that BlackBerry Messenger, BlackBerry text as like right under your text, you know, like when you get a photo or anything and it's there. It's there. It was crazy, guys. I'm not even kidding you. It was stored right on the screen. These are just some of the things that I'm going to just walk you through on their OS, okay? Now, let's talk about being entertained. Well, music, movies, TV, the selection was incredible. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. 8 movie studios jumped on to give all of their TV shows, movies, and everything to make it available on BlackBerry. But that's not even the big deal. Everybody wants to know about what applications are available. Right now, there's over 70,000 applications in the BlackBerry market, which to me sounds incredible for them to have that many. And they're saying thousands are added every week, which I would love to see. But like Skype is on there now, Amazon, Angry Birds, all those applications are there. You have your EA games, your Game Loft games. I mean, they're really coming along. And if they're saying what they're saying is true, and the 70,000 applications are all the applications that everybody uses, and the most popular applications, then that's a win. They had business apps up the wazoo. I mean, government apps. Of course, it's BlackBerry. This is definitely going to start swaying lawyers, businessmen, government officials back over to BlackBerry. All those people that switched over to iPhone that just think it's too unprofessional, they're going to switch back now. Okay, now, to finish up, when is it available? Well, for the US, I'm going to have to wait until March. But it's going to be coming on AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, and Sprint. Don't know the pricing yet. Don't know the pricing really on anywhere except for Canada, because Canada is releasing it February 5th for $149 for a 3-year agreement. Not bad for Canada. So figure about $199 in the US for a 2-year agreement. That's what I would say. But UK's getting it tomorrow. That's crazy. And it's going to be on 5 carriers in UK. You know, like car phone warehouse, cell phone warehouse, or whatever it's called. All the big top ones in the UK. And it's going to be on 110 carriers across the globe. And you can start pre-ordering it now. I got to tell you guys, I'm not even doing it justice by telling you this little short clip about it. You really have to start looking into it. I'm going to start writing articles and more videos about it as I get more information. As soon as I get my hands on one, I'm going to test the heck out of it for you guys. Thanks a lot. That was another episode of Smartphone World. Please do me a favor, subscribe, share me on your Facebook wall, click like on my Facebook fan page, my Twitter. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day.